Heads up, you are in the Hoodwood. I'm the Black Bandit KJ Green, welcoming you to Sports from the Hoodwood for July 18th, 2018. Coming up in this week's edition, home runs rule the day at the All-Star Game. Kawhi goes to Toronto, while the Raptors' all-in gamble will doom them. Is Le'Veon Bell really done in Pittsburgh? Viva La France, and a World Cup review. All that, fat dap and head slap, as well as a multitude of opinions and info straight ahead in this edition of Sports from the Hoodwood. Let's go.
You're tuned in to Sports from the Hoodwood, the internet's foremost location for the most honest, unfiltered commentary and insight on the world of sports. Now, once again, here's Hoodwood's hometown hero, KJ Green.
Greetings from the Hoodwood, where despite the hot weather in the neighborhood, I always remain cool. I'm your host, KJ Green. Greetings and salutations to you one and all. I actually watched the All-Star Game this week. Much as I kind of knocked it, I did watch part of it when I was at the gym working out, and I watched the last, about 3 or 4 innings of the game when I got home Tuesday night, and I was suitably impressed with the pitching, with the hitting. Boy, the hitting. Man, between Aaron Judge hitting an absolute bomb in the first inning, all the way through to Scooter Gennett's game-tying home run in the 9th, and Joey Votto even hitting a home run in the 10th in garbage time, it was actually a pretty fun game to watch. With an 8-6-10 inning win, the AL regains the overall lead in the series for the first time since 1963. And of the 14 runs that were scored Tuesday night, all but one were scored via the long ball. Feast or Famine was ruled the day as a record number of strikeouts as well as a record number of home runs were hit. NL had 7 hits in the game, and 5 of them were home runs. The 9 total home runs were an All-Star Game record. Gene Segura of the Mariners looked like he was going to snag the MVP award when he hit a 3-run homer in the 8th after Joey Votto's error on a foul pop gave him a reprieve, a 2-out reprieve. But then after Christian Yelich of the Brewers cut the deficit to 2 in the 9th, Gennett, who was the last reserve available to NL skipper Dave Roberts of the Dodgers, built a dramatic 1-out, 2-run game-tying home run to force extra innings. But Roberts' closer, Dodger closer Rod Stripling, melted down in his second inning of work in the 10th inning, giving up back-to-back home runs to Alex Bregman, who was named MVP, and George Springer, and a 3rd run on a sac fly. I think Springer's insurance should have gotten him the MVP since Joey Votto atoned for, as I mentioned, atoned for his early error with a solo home run of his own to lead off the 10th. You know, that was his very first hit in 6 All-Star Game appearances. Hard to believe a career 300 hitter who has made a number of All-Star appearances getting only his first hit, but via the long ball. J.A. Happ of the Toronto Blue Jays did get the next 3 batters in order to snag the save, and the American League now leads the series at 44-43. Taking the lead back that they had lost after a long period of NL dominance. There was a period between 1964 and I would say the mid-90s where the NL just won every year. I mean, you take out the dominant performances in 1971 where Reggie Jackson hits the humongous home run in Tiger Stadium, and Freddie Lynn's grand slam off of Atlee Hammaker. Remember those names, Freddie Lynn and Atlee Hammaker. I remember that game like it was yesterday. It was 35 years ago. Jeez, I feel old. But aside from the 71 and 83 games, the NL just dominated the All-Star Game for a long, long time. I do remember the 90 game at Wrigley Field where they were playing the All-Star Game at night, and it was a long rain delay. And the AL won that All-Star Game, and Bo Jackson hitting a tremendous home run in the 89 All-Star Game. But those were here you expected. NL was going to win the All-Star Game every year. And like I said, for a period of about 30 years, the All-Star Game was just dominated by the NL. But Believe it or not, in the last 22 games, the AL leads the series 18-3-1. 2002 aberration of a game notwithstanding, the AL has basically rolled over the NL every year. Now, I will say that the Major League Baseball has kind of ditched its, snooty attitude when it comes to its pristine game. And they're realizing that the Midsummer Summer Classic could and should be a showcase for its players. And they let them have fun with it. From the red carpet entrance before the game to the numerous amounts of selfies that these players are taking on the field during the game. And whoever came up with the idea of miking the players up during the game, Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, Charlie Blackmon, Francisco Lindor, all of them were mic'd up at one point or another in the game, conversating with the on-air commentators and looked like they were having a blast doing it. And it showed an inside of a side of the game that you don't really see. I've been watching baseball close to 40 years, and you usually expect baseball to be stodgy. The fun is there, but you don't see the interplay. And in this game, you saw players interacting with one another and having a good time. It was funny seeing Manny Machado and Matt Kemp taking a picture on base, which ironically, Manny Machado and Matt Kemp are now teammates after the Orioles traded Machado to the Dodgers in a 5-player deal that just consummated Wednesday night. But it's fun to see these players actually look like they're having fun. It's a good thing. Now, the night before was a home run derby, and you have to give dap to Major League Baseball for turning this into a real showcase. I mean, the NBA made the slam dunk contest and a three-point shootout its own headline events back in the 80s. And it's fun to see MLB do the same thing for what would be its signature event in the home run derby. MLB finally woke up, clued into the fact they could make this event part of the All-Star game and a marquee of its own. You remember back in 2015 where Todd Frazier electrified the Cincinnati crowd with his dramatic win in the home run derby. Bryce Harper duplicated that feat on Monday night, becoming only the third home run derby champion to win the title in front of his own home crowd, rallying from an 18-9 deficit to the Cubs' Kyle Schwarber and winning it on bonus time in his first swing. Now, I hear purists like Brian Kenny of MLB sneering at the format, and they don't like the clock. They want a 10-swing thing. I say the clock in the game in a home run derby is the best thing that ever happened. It gives an element of timing and suspense. And you can still have a dramatic walk-off last-second home run to win a round, as happened numerous times in the first round and the semifinal. It was fun to watch these players try to play beat the clock. Bryce Harper rallying from 9 down to tie and then eventually win the home run derby. That's drama. That is something that you can't put a price tag on. That is something that's going to draw fans in. That's something that's going to be a marquee event year after year if you continue to keep that setup. Major League Baseball should take note. This is something they should keep doing every year for the All-Star game. The home run derby should be the marquee event. And the top players should be in this event year in and year out. No knock to the players that were in the event this year, but come on. Aside from Bryce Harper and maybe Kyle Schwarber, how many of these players did you really know that were hitting in the home run contest? We need the marquee hitters in the contest every year. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Bryce Harper, Mike Trout. I'm talking to you. Yes, Bryce Harper won the contest, but he was in Washington in front of his hometown fans. I want to see him do it next year, in next year's All-Star game. Where's next year's All-Star game, man? But that's never mind. The point I'm trying to make is All-Star game should be one of Major League Baseball's signature events. And they're just finally cluing back in that the Midsummer Classic should be just that, a classic, something that everyone wants to watch. Take a time out, come back, talk about Kawhi Leonard is going to the Great White North and how the Toronto Raptors have basically just flushed their future down the drain. We'll be back in the Hoodwood in just a moment. Stay close.